it appears that there are millions of atheists have been coming to God in America.
Wow.
Does this surprise you?
No, not really.
With the after all the brain rot from the Rhett and Alex O'Connor interview, this is kind of like the opposite of what you think, right?
Yeah.
Because you go to their comment section and it's like, yee-haw.
Yeah, I'm glad we found someone that hates religion as much as I do.
Right?
Yeah, I'm curious how many people are like that say they're atheists were atheist by lack of interest. So it's not like they actually landed at like, I don't believe there's a God. They're just like, I don't think there's a God, and I want to go play video games instead.
Okay.
And so then they just don't do it. But either way, let's read this, huh?
Yep. Okay, so this says, zoom in.
No.
According to Pew Research, more than 11 million people in the U.S. who weren't raised Christian now identify as followers of Jesus.
Wow.
Hold on. What's the population of the United States?
340.
340 million. 11 million, 30 million would be 10%, right?
Yeah.
34 million would be 10%. So this is 4%. 11 million is about 4%, 3%. Help me with, I'm doing very rough math.
11 million.
So almost 5% of the United States population now identifies as a follower of Jesus, according to the Pew Research. The shift comes as interest in faith steadily rises among younger generation. A 2023 Barna study found that nearly 50% of non-Christian Gen Z are open to conversations around Jesus.
Come on.
A sharp contrast to the hostility often seen in past decades. Meanwhile, testimonies from former atheists are spreading rapidly online. Many cite personal encounters with God, which I always say it's probably going to be a personal encounter with God, right?
Yep.
Biblical evidence, shout out to Wes Huff, or a growing sense of emptiness in secular culture as reason for their conviction. I think that's a
big one.
The big one is so for me, I don't know if you remember this. Something that people don't know is like divorce rates are very low right now. Some of the lowest they've been. This whole idea that like 50% of marriages will end in results was a projection and it actually never materialized to that.
Wow.
The actual rate is like 40%, but the actual rate is like a 35% of first marriages because people who get divorced tend to be more likely to get divorced a second time. And historically, divorce rates are actually the lowest they've been. Why is that? Well, because my generation, millennials, grew up with higher divorce rates. So many of us, when we were kids, we're like, this sucks. Like you think having two homes is dope, but like not being in the house with your dad or your mom together is awful. So what did we do? Many of us said, well, we're going to not repeat the cycle. Or if you're like a hedonist, I'm just not going to get married.
Yeah.
And so there's people that also just didn't get married, right? And so what happened is the millennial generation said, this is stupid. Like my parents, dumb. Y'all got divorced for stupid reasons.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you idiots, right? Respectfully, I'm not saying everyone thought this way, but like I think some of us really saw the damage of it. So what happened is what I think happened is that this rise in the nuns of my generation and Generation X, rising of the nuns, rising of the non-religious, these people, we saw and experienced this, and then their kids, I'm 40, so there's folks that have kids that, millennials that are my age.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, yo, y'all stupid. Like this whole like I'm not religious. Richard Dawkins, new atheism, dumb. It's as dumb as the previous generation getting divorced.
Now I have a question for you.
Sure.
A lot of millennials then prescribed to the idea of I'm gonna wait to get married. Like I'm gonna settle down. Maybe I'll be in my 30s, marry later. Definitely graduate college, get settled, find my interests. Would you say it has worked out for them that way? Because the flip side is like we would also go like, oh man, it's great to be married younger.
Just to go back to the divorce statistic real quick, check this out. Look at that.
Wow. So it's dropping. So
it's dropping
1980s, which is right what you were saying.
Yeah.
It was at its peak.
22%. Right?
What was happening around 1980?
This is on the other side of birth control. This is on the other side of the sexual revolution. Remember the late 60s, right? Free love. And so that's what you're getting into the 70s and 80s, the disco era, right? And so, massive, massive drop. And then it goes back up around the mid 2000s, right? Briefly bumps up and around the mid 2000s.
I blame Obama.
My
Probably because Obama.
my parents got divorced in the 80s, right? A lot of parents got divorced in the 90s, then it dipped off, and then it picked up again. And so a lot of us were like, yeah, this is dumb. And so they're the lowest they've been in a very long time,
Wow, that's
right?
crazy,
I think since
actually.
the 70s or the 60s?
Oh, no
Divorce
fault
rate.
divorce laws too.
Yeah, no full divorce laws. Thank you. So your question was, what about people
So
who
it seems like the
delay getting
millennials-
married? Yeah, I think that. I mean, that's a different conversation.
It
I
is.
think it's a bad idea to wait forever.
Yeah.
If you're a Christian, and I bet you if we were to look at marriage ages amongst practicing Christians versus non-Christians, or practicing Christians versus non-practicing Christians. By practicing Christian, I'm usually going to mean what is happening with your Sundays. Like if you go to church every Sunday, to me, you're a practicing Christian. If you don't go to church every Sunday, you're not a practicing. To me, okay, that's the metric I use. Then I would also add reading the Bible, that sort of stuff. Now, yeah, those folks I think are going to get married younger. So having said that, this is the 11 million people. And by the way, Bible sales peaked at like 14, 15 million last year. So a lot of those are first time Bible purchases. I would venture off to say that TikTok has a lot to do with it. Probably guys like Bryce Crawford, who we just had on the channel, have a lot to do with it. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of external variables, stuff like The Chosen. Like you can dunk on The Chosen all you want. It's not sticking to the Bible word for word. Why is it not? I want the Bible in a video. Why is it not the Bible in a video? Right? I don't know what accent I was doing there, but you know what I mean. Like
They want an AI recreation.
They want an AI
just
recreation.
over the
Yes.
the audible version of the Bible.
So I think all of that is contributing to Christians a Christian to Gen Z who's becoming more Jesus curious, and then when they hear some reasonable arguments about why the faith, or they don't even need you don't even need apologetics. You just look at all these atheists and agnostic people and like lots of despair here.
Yeah.
Your conclusions suck. Everyone's transforming now.
Yeah, you all got bags under your eyes.
You got bags under your eyes, right? Like this is terrible. I'm gonna go see with them Christians because they seem to be happier and less likely to get divorced and overall more functional. I mean, look, we go on walks around my neighborhood, right? And we meet
people and we're like, they know Jesus.
They know Jesus, right? They got more than
that's
three.
our barometer for like,
yeah.
that was a cool person. They know Jesus.
They know Jesus. They got more than three kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Mom and dad together in the house, loving each other, know Jesus. And what happened? One of them was like, oh yeah, we know so-and-so that knows Chris from North Coast. Sure enough, it was one of the families we knew Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? And so
That's funny.
I think this is so obvious. And I think Gen Z is the most marketed to generation, the most distracted generation. And I think they're kind of sick of it. And they just want something real and authentic. And I hate that word authentic, but
Newspaper business.
what?
They want something different and real.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying we shift and we go to newspaper.
Oh
we
my
reach them
gosh.
with newspapers
Zach.
that preach the gospel in the little comments.
That's not what I meant.
In the comic section notes.
Oh
No?
my God. No. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think outside the box. No dumb
Stop.
ideas while we're here.
That's a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea. I'm going to say it. Forgive me, chat. But yeah, so anyway, I'm hopeful. I've been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
Gavin Ortland's talked about a vibe shift. I talked about this in the vlog that we did at Liberty University.
Boom.
I
Yes,
talked about
that's
this
right.
in my conversation with Wes Huff at Apologetics Canada. There is something that has shifted, and I think that is a massive net positive for society as a whole. So, but let me know what you guys think. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.